Welcome, everyone. We are here today with a very special woman. This is Carol McCown, and she is CEO of Raise Global. And she is basically doing that, raising the entire globe with sustainability. And we are here for our Friday Five, where we're going to ask Carol 5 questions about entrepreneurship and her journey and experiences. Carol, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Michelle, thank you. I am so tickled to be part of this today. It's great.
I absolutely love that you're here. Before I ask you our 5 questions, could you share just a little bit about Raise Global?
I would love to. RAISE means Responsible Alliance and Social Enterprise. Around 10 years ago, I felt as if there are large corporations who were making money off the selling of food or water or knew how to create electricity, then why would there be regions of the world that have the inability to get good food, pure water, electricity, housing, and so forth? And so for the last, 10 years, I've traveled the globe to work with innovators to find solutions for first world problems that also meet the needs of people in the third world. And it has just been the most unbelievable journey.
So question number 1 is, what made you take the entrepreneurial leap? And I think you just answered that, because you're very, very passionate about what you're doing. You're making huge impact. I mean, it's incredible what you do. You're obviously very passionate about it. Was this your first, what was your first foray into entrepreneurship?
Well, I think that I was created to be an entrepreneur. When I first started working as a young person in college, I founded a business that photographed sporting events in and around Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where I was in college, and then expanded that to build a global sports photography business. Around 2010, I went through a really hard time personally, divorce and so forth, had to sell that business and was left wondering, what am I supposed to do? And I just don't know that I've ever had the personality type to go and work in a large organization or do anything outside of an entrepreneurial type thing. And so in 2011, between January and March, after the darkest period of my life, I started having dreams, and it was the business model for Raise. And when you start understanding that your purpose in life is something that is so important to making a difference in the lives of other people, you just can't say no to it. And so that's kind of where this started. It literally started in dreams.
Okay, so there's a few things. There's no way I can stay on topic with just 5 questions. So we're going to go a little deeper into these. Okay. So initially, when you say dreams, this is, well, let me back up a minute, because there's always this controversy. Are entrepreneurs born or are they made? And I think we talked about this before, where Gino Wickman has this book about taking the entrepreneurial leap and insists that they are born, which I have to agree with. It's kind of in your DNA, all these qualities that come together. And when you say dreams, were these like literal, I go to sleep and have a dream, or like dreams like the ideas you were having, or a combination of both?
It actually was a combination of both. I had gone on some mission vision trips during the period when I was selling my business and going through the divorce. And I was in search of something bigger for my life. And when I went on these mission vision trips, I could automatically see, well, if we did this, then we could help these people. If we did this, we could do this a different way. And it was just the DNA of who I am. Is like, I can easily see how to create business out of all types of circumstances, but I wasn't clear on exactly the course of what I was supposed to take. So I'm a woman of faith. And so I started praying about it. I was like, I just need to know what I'm supposed to do. I'm willing to do anything. I just need to know what it is I'm supposed to do. And so I had a couple of like miracles happen in my life, like literal miracles that could not have been circumstantial. It just was so amazing. And I would start waking up in the middle of the night from January of 2011 until March of 2011, almost every night, like at 1 o'clock in the morning. And at first I thought, how annoying. But then it was like I had the clearest vision at that point in time. So I literally would get up and I would start writing notes, little notes, even the name of the company, RAISE. What does it mean? Responsible Alliance and Social Enterprise. What is its objective? It's to lift the bottom up. It's to bring people together. It's to lift up innovation. It's to lift up CEOs of major corporations so they have a mindset that part of the DNA of their company should be to do something world changing, because they have, guess what? They have the funds to do it. They have the technology to do it. And they have the people to do it. So when I first started it, I thought, well, I'm supposed to inspire these big companies to do this. And I found out really quickly that even though I was getting the consulting gigs, I got several in the Atlanta area with big corporations, that it was like trying to move a Titanic. They were so busy with their everyday business and managing their stakeholders that until they became personally attached to it, they could not achieve it. And the solutions that were out there, especially in the sustainability sector, the solutions were so expensive that there's no way that the CFO would engage in doing what we were talking about trying to accomplish. So I put my money where my mouth is, and I launched a division of RAISE Global called RAISE Energy Solutions, for the purposes of finding those solutions that made sense to the CFO of these corporations. And if it didn't make sense, it shouldn't be part of our portfolio of technologies or solutions. And so that's what sort of launched this whole thing. It was the building of the ark, if you will. You can't survive the flood if you don't have the ark built. And so that meant going out and finding the best in class technologies in all of these different sectors, so that when the opportunity arises to talk with these big corporations, we have the tools in place to implement exactly what we are talking about. But not only do we have the tools to create the solutions, they are tools that are, when they're put in place, they add value to the bottom line, value to the people, and value to the communities that we serve and that corporation serves. So it's a win-win-win for everyone.
This is such a powerful conversation, because just in what you said is really the outline for the entrepreneurial journey. I mean, there's this repeated theme where it's how we respond to challenge, really. So, and that resiliency. So when you're hit with a divorce and all the stuff that brings, oftentimes people will just contract, they get smaller. But what I've noticed is entrepreneurs tend to look immediately for the opportunity. Like, what is the opportunity here? And when you're being awakened at 1 o'clock every morning, many people would be like, well, shut that down. I'll take a sleeping pill or whatever. But you step into the information that's coming into your awareness, and this is where the magic is, I think. So everything you're sharing, I was just taking notes. You had an opportunity, you had a vision, you were resilient, and you listened to that little voice, and then you expanded. And then as you're speaking, you're going right into service and, the impact that you're going to make. So it's really, really powerful. Okay. So question number 2 is, did you have support or resistance from the people who are close to you, like family and friends, when you were stepping into this new venture?
I think it's a little bit of both. First of all, when you look at an adventure that is so big and the vision that is so big, that intimidates a lot of people, and they think, well, there's no way you can do that, right? There's no way you should be able to do that. It's too big. And why do you think you have the power to do that? You came from a photography background. What in the world would enable you to do a world-changing vision?
Exactly.
Yet I have had the opportunity to be raised by incredible parents who always believed in me and always supported me no matter what it is that I had going on. My father, my grandfather, they were entrepreneurs. They always had, I lived in a family that you work for yourself. My brother is an entrepreneur, and now my sister's come on board and is working with him. I think it's just part of us believing in us and knowing that we've got the support of our family no matter what. I can remember, this is not an easy journey, and I can remember days where I was just like weeping, like, what do I do next? And my mom, who was a stay-at-home mom, would be like, oh, I'm fearful with you. You know, this is a big risk. I'm ready for something to happen. And my dad would be like, you got it, girl. You know, you can do this. You are amazing, and you cannot stop. And I just am so blessed by that. Now, I've had friends that just don't get it. You know, they just don't get it. They're like, you know, why are you investing all your time and effort into doing something so big? And yet I have other people that are literally praying for me, literally knowing that the outcome of what we're trying to do is huge. And I've gotten support from the weirdest places, you know, just telling the story, and then have other people come beside me and say, Carol, I want to introduce you to this person, or I'm going to get you in the door over here. I mean, I've met prime ministers of countries because of people believing in me when it was at the smallest level. And
Wow.
I don't know why. Now, has it been easy? No, I've been fearful. I've had, you know, places in this where there was a period where I was like, where is the next check coming from? How is this going to work? I've had to have moments during the plan that I thought was the plan that I had to pivot and change the plan temporarily, just to learn that I needed something new for the puzzle that's being put together for my life. You have to stay in the why. You have to stay in the vision of it. If you don't, you won't survive it. It's too difficult.
So
But
that was really I'm sorry to interrupt you. That was really my next question was, have you ever had difficulty articulating your value? Because a lot of the women I work with, this is the pain point. And I think it gives me just shivers listening to you talk about your dad and your family, because I think it is so powerful to have people around us who basically give us confirmation. You know, they confirm that inner voice is right and you should keep going through the difficulties. So you really kind of spoke to that, articulating your own value. You were encouraged to do that, and you just kept moving forward. What would you advise women who struggle with their own value? How, and maybe they aren't connecting, they're connected with their why, but then they're getting a lot of resistance or doubt, or it's other people's fear. It's like your mom saying, yeah, I'm right here on the floor with you. Like, this is scary. Yes. And I think many women are, the 99% of the people are saying, come back, you know? So what advice would you have for them?
I would give this advice to any human being, male or female. You are perfectly and wonderfully made, and you are put on this planet for a purpose. And you know in your soul what your purpose is. And if your purpose is an entrepreneurial endeavor, and you have peace about that next step, go in peace and understand that you'll be given all the tools that you need, all the favor that you need, all the openings that you need to reach what you purposefully have been created to do, period. I don't ever doubt who I am. I'll tell you a funny story and you'll go, what? But my mom had a picture of all three of us kids in the living room of her house when we were all about 3 years old, little portraits. And they moved to a smaller place and didn't have room for it. So she gave me that portrait. And it's in this old, beautiful antique frame. And I put it in my bedroom. And whenever I start having these doubts about my ability or my plan or my purpose for my life, or that I may not be enough, which is something that a lot of people go through, I'm not enough. We all think that every now and then. I go and I look at that picture of that 3-year-old in that precious little dress with a curl on the top of her hair. And I see a perfectly made little girl that was made for a reason. I kind of step out of myself and I look down and I say, you know what, little girl, you can do anything that God has purposed you to do. And I see it a lot. I look at it all the time and I go, you know what? How could you not be that little girl, not be loved by God himself? And you know what? That's me. And he's the one that gives me the ultimate strength in all of this, because it's too big of a plan without him. And that's just the truth of it. Don't walk in fear. Step forward in faith. Now, if you walk into something and you have that angst, like, I don't know about this, and there's this real angst about that, that's when your time is to step back, be still, and wait for peace to show you what the next step looks like. I can't tell you how much time I've spent in that quiet, still place on this journey, waiting for the next step. And there's a lot of that. Don't just rush ahead, because that's where you're going to find yourself in the swamp. You know, there's an old Chinese proverb that said, when you're uncertain about something and the lake water or the water looks very muddy or unclear, you don't know what the next step is, to be still. Watch the sediment hit to the bottom and then you'll get clarity. Well, I think there's a lot of truth in that. And that's kind of the way I handle my days or weeks or months when I sort of go through those periods of uncertainty, or where I don't know or don't think that I have enough to make the next step.
So beautiful. I so appreciate you sharing this. It is of tremendous value. There's something I do with my clients that I work with. It's called the peace process. I love that you're bringing it back to this, because, and the fact that you just organically look at this little girl, and this is the healing. And I know humans of any age or sex or whatever, but I work primarily with women who are like over a certain age. So a certain age, I hate that, but you know, who are like over 50 usually. And that reconnect, because we've taken care of everyone else, right? For all these years, everyone else's kids, our kids, the whole world. Right. But the fact that you are connecting with that little girl, and it really comes down to that, like the healing and giving to yourself what you keep looking for in the outside world, and just saying, no, I'm going to take responsibility for this. Come to that still place. No, I'm not alone. And then focus on that little girl and looking at the value. That is such a powerful thing. I so appreciate you sharing that, Carol. And then let's see, I was taking notes. What else? Oh, the conviction to move forward, and the commitment and the conviction and clarity. Conviction, clarity, and commitment to move forward in peace. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about the power of that. Anyone who's listening, ladies, you don't have to move forward. I just talked yesterday about chaos. And that when you're feeling chaos, and maybe you can speak to this too, it's usually, to me, it's like the creative soup. So when the chaos is there, it means like everything you need is like swirling in your brain or whatever. Then you come to peace and you will get clarity, which then gives you conviction and then the commitment and the energy to move forward. It's like God didn't just abandon us here, but we have to give it to ourselves. So you said all of that just so beautifully about the picture, and that's a very powerful exercise. I don't even remember where we are in our questions.
Number 4.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about the statement, start before you're ready?
I think that is the nature of an entrepreneurial world. You're a risk taker. You're going to be a risk taker. I was talking to a guy yesterday who has built a super PAC for decoupling the U.S. with China and trying to bring back jobs and stuff like that to the U.S. And I said, why aren't you out there talking to people about it? And he's like, well, I don't have my website built yet. I don't have this done yet. I don't have this done yet. And I'm like thinking to myself, and I told him, I said, but what you are doing is so valuable. You could go ahead and start taking your vision, write it on the tablet and put it out there. And if women want to be perfect, it's in our nature to want to have the perfect hair and the perfect makeup and the perfect bodies and all this stuff, because the world has told us you have to be perfect to get anything done. Women are obsessed with it. If you're waiting to be perfect, you'll never get anything done. None of us are perfect. Not unless you're airbrushed and all of that. It's not a perfection. You just cannot do it. And no business is perfect either. You're never going to be ready. Never. You can set goals and objectives, but if you've been given a vision, then you start building the vision right off the bat. And I'm telling you that your vision will change. You have to pivot. You have to be ready to kind of duck and roll, because you're really in a boxing match. You've got competitors. You've got to be able to get your message across to people. I don't care what the business is. You've got to build upon your strengths, and you're going to have weaknesses. And it's funny because as you start building and moving forward with your strengths without perfection, there are other people that will come along who kind of fill in the gap where your weaknesses are, because they're going to join your vision. They're going to be a part of it with you. You have to move forward. It is a risk-taking, and it is a risk-taking endeavor, but it's worth it because it's what you were purposed to do.
Just right with you. I love the way you shared that. That vision, it almost pulls you. It doesn't allow you to sit there and wait until you're ready, right? And I agree with you with women, because when I work with people and I say, just go on social and go live so people can get to know you, nobody wants to do that. It's terrifying every time you do it, because you can't help the thing of, they're not going to like me, they're not going to watch me, they're not going to hear. And like you said, especially women are comparing themselves to everything. But I love like Grant Cardone has a thing where he's just like, market first and then build it. It's like you have to have that much conviction for people to even see you right now or to pay attention. There's so much noise out there. So it sounds like you've done this again and again in your life, where you have the vision and you just start. Do you want to share, just while we're on here, a little bit about this other project that you're involved in case anybody watches this and wants to hear about the collegiate thing?
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that.
That's a whole nother thing. And I don't know.
Not a whole nother thing.
Popped in my head.
So I'm glad you asked about that. I had said earlier that our goal in life was to bring solutions that would be useful in large corporations and in communities around the world. And in turn, out of our profits, take those same solutions into nonprofit organizations. But as believe it or not, is part of the uh, dreams of the 2 months. One of the things one night was about that we're building this for 3 generations. So that's 100-year plan. So if you look at that, we're looking at 21 plan. And to build it for generations, it means we need to start engaging the next generation behind us with these mindsets about how to do business, how to look after your environment, how to look after other people with the knowledge and people and talents that you have. And so this year, right away in 2022, we're going to be launching a collegiate ambassador program to start implementing these solutions through students on college campuses and or trade school campuses across the globe. And our goal is twofold. One is to put together a collaborative effort amongst the new thinkers, the new brains, the new talents that are coming up, but also to teach them, like wise old owls, through mentoring processes, the ability to implement it within where they are now on their college campuses, but when they graduate into the corporations, into the entrepreneurial endeavors, or into wherever the small businesses that they are being led to once they graduate, so that we can start taking a new approach. And so I'm excited about this collegiate ambassador program. And one of the things I'm most excited about is that my son, Evan, and one of his best friends came to me and said, we want to do this. We want to lead this endeavor. And so for me, that's kind of an answered prayer, because I knew that I needed to do something to set this up for a 3-generational mindset. And it really is probably becoming the thing I'm most passionate about within Raise. So if any of you know of any college students that are out and about that sort of have a heart for humanity, that would be interested in learning about health, safety, and well-being on college campuses, or sustainability, they can have any skill set or any talent, because all of us are used for this. They can be marketing majors, they can be engineers, they could be business majors, they could be econ majors. We don't care, because we believe that it's going to take we take a holistic approach to the globe. And so it's going to take a holistic approach to bring collaboration together, to form like-mindedness, so that we can come up with new innovation, new solutions, new ways of telling this out to the world. And it's so exciting to think about that we have a new generation of hope, of kids that will get it. We need to move the world from this mindless thing on just going to work, going to school, going to watch sports, going to have entertainment, to how do I add purpose to the DNA of my life, to have a purpose-driven life. And so if we can help students kind of give practical application to that, then we all win, because then we have the future innovators of the world coming up. And that's what makes my heart sing.
Oh, exactly. I just love that. It's in alignment with, and we didn't even talk about core values, but you talk about that so much. It just is so much who you are. It's so obvious. So Carol, I could talk with you all day. Wish you were closer and we could go to dinner and talk for hours. I think you're amazing. I love listening to you. You're such an inspiration and proof positive for every woman out there that you can do it. So we're going to cut this short. I'm going to tell you really quickly what I learned today, although I took all kinds of notes, but basically it is see opportunity, know your own value, just commit to that value, and start before you're ready. Having a 100-year plan is a really cool idea because you're expanding all of the people that you're serving. And then your vision is even bigger. You're going to attract more people, right? And then go in peace. And I think we'll leave everyone with that. Just go in peace and confidence, knowing your own value and that you are here to serve for the next 100 years if you can, to really make an impact. So thank you so much for your time today. You were just absolutely brilliant and lovely. And I can't wait until we have another opportunity to do this.